Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
When we relaunched Before You Buy with me, we decided we wanted a few new segments. One of them being this idea of a product redemption. That's right, a product that maybe didn't make the cut the first time around and that the host had some very specific ideas of what could be fixed. And so we decided to give the Zensorium another chance. That's right, the first time around it was reviewed by our very own Chad Johnson, OMG Chad, and this is what he had to say on the first go.
Design, it uses the cool reflective design and the in-app education. For the cons, inconsistent app.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not reliable.
I was not sure if it was reading it correctly, if something was broken, if I was doing it wrong. I'd try to cover my thumb to make sure that
it needs to be consistent. Otherwise, you have no confidence in the measurement.
So there's no way to share this info after you have taken it. This is great.
No central...
This is information you'd want to share with a doctor. I want a printout of this.
Yeah.
And finally, it's a buggy app. I mean, other than the inconsistent scores and the inconsistent testing.
Are they selling it now, or is it?
This is available now.
Yeah, this feels like a beta.
I mean, it feels like it hasn't. It's been rushed. I mean, it feels like this shouldn't be on the market yet. Yeah. That they still have bugs that they need to work out, because this is the smallest device of its kind. And I feel like the hardware is designed well. I am hesitant to give it a don't buy.
Maybe they could fix this.
Because it could be fixed in the future.
No, don't buy this. Seriously.
Yeah, I would give it a don't buy until they actually fix it.
Yeah, when they fix it, then you could buy it.
Absolutely.
Now that is the foundation of the redemption, that idea that it could be fixed.
It could be fixed. And so I'm back with the Zensorium Tinké, the Tinké. And this, they've updated it in a few different ways. The hardware has been updated, so now it has a lightning connector. Before that was the 30-pin connector. Also, there's like some small hardware changes. It used to be that this little cap could fit onto the bottom and it would sort of stay there. They got rid of that. So now
now you're going to lose the cap.
So now you're going to lose the cap to somewhere else. In terms of the app has also, one problem that I've always had with this is that I have a case on my phone and I have to take it off every single time.
Oh, that's annoying.
I have to.
Now, originally, the original product, it actually, when it worked well. It was just the app was so buggy.
Well, I mean, the app was really buggy, and there was a big problem with the results. And after I did that review, the company actually ended up emailing me and saying, "You're doing it all wrong. You're putting way too much pressure
You're holding it wrong
on the sensor." Absolutely. And in fact, that was true. The problem was that if I went to take I'm going to do a measurement and then I'm going to fail on it just to show you that it'll send you to a tutorial. So I did that tutorial at one point, and the tutorial says what? And so I can view the tutorial. And during this tutorial, when I took it at the original review, it gave me a pressure guide to follow.
Now, what is this supposed to be doing?
What it's supposed, so the whole idea of the product is that it uses this sensor that my thumb is under right now, and it looks at your blood, and so it can tell what your heart rate is, what your blood oxygen level is, and what your respiratory level is. So how many breaths you're taking a minute.
We've got Dr. Morbius in the chat room who's saying, well, you know, finger pulse monitors don't work if you squeeze too hard. What happens if you squeeze really hard?
If you squeeze really hard, it just, it just doesn't work. It doesn't, it spikes and it doesn't work. And that's what was happening was the tutorial that I took in the original review was giving me a pressure gauge that was buggy. That I sent them screenshots of it, and the representative got back with me and said, this is wrong.
So they obviously had seen the problem before.
Yes, they saw the problem and they gave it to their engineers. So that has changed my aspect of this entire product completely. So now, much more consistent results. That could be user defined, although the app had trained me on how to use it before. And everything is better. Like it used to be that it would constantly not detect the Tinké when it was in the phone. It would constantly say, "Go ahead and plug it in now," and it was plugged in. Like seriously, let's get on. So there's two different measurements. There is the Zen score and the Vita score. And right now I'm taking the Vita score, the Vita score. And basically, this is a measurement of all three of the core things that this measures: the blood pressure, the heart rate, and the respiratory
So this
level.
is just facts. This is what's your
basically
temperature, what's your pressure, etc.
And then it'll average it into one base score that is kind of like its super score. And now, right now, I'm talking. You're not supposed to do what I'm doing right now. I'm talking. I'm moving.
You're
around,
messing
I'm
up your
standing.
measurements.
Right. I basically, it wants you to sit down in a calm, quiet room and take your measurements like you would your blood pressure. So I'm not.
Oh.
Oops.
Oops. Which was one of the problems that you had with the original.
Yes. And there's still a few bugs. Like I noticed when I went, they have an online dashboard, and when I went to the online dashboard, I couldn't remember my password. Click forgot my password, it doesn't lead anywhere. If I inspect the element, it's just an anchor tag without any references to a URL to follow. So there's definitely still some bugs with the whole platform, but in general, it is way more solid. I could easily, I got through 2 or 3 weeks using this perfectly fine. So that was the Vita score. There's a Zen score, which is more like whenever you measure your Zen.
This is like a biofeedback type.
Exactly. And so you pick a circle and you use that to control your breath, and it's a lot more like a meditation process. And all of the entire product is much more focused on well-being, like lifestyle choices, than actual pure health data.
Okay. So if you're looking for an activity monitor, that's not what this is for. That's what you get a ban for that. This is more.
This is more
people
lifestyle.
Want to change lifestyle.
Exactly. Exactly. And so you can see my Zen score is 56. The average for my age group is 66. My Vita score is 56. I guess those are the same. That was weird. I was like, I'm saying the same numbers. And then, for my category is 77. You can see sort of down in here the base levels. So my blood oxygen level was a 100, which is great. My heart rate on the average for this month, for March, was 104, and it looks like my breath rate in a minute is 15. And then if I go over to February, you can see I have different scores along this. But you can see that they're even in this, they're minimizing the actual results and maximizing their averaged interpretation of what you should be doing. And then it's great. They have back when I reviewed this a while ago, they have all of that data still in here, which is kind of nice. So
and the important thing again is not to think of this as a competitor to even like the Apple Watch or any of the fitness bands. This is something that you would break out every once in a while to say, I got too much stress in my life, and I want to let go of some of that.
This feels much more like soccer mom eating her cereal, wants to feel good about how she's doing in her workouts and getting back to Zen and stuff like that is much more what this product is like.
Break it down for me. What are the pros and the cons?
So also one of the big things that I gave this a con for was I couldn't export. Now they have an export feature where if you go into account settings, you can scroll all the way down and export. The biggest problem is that when you export, you can only export the last 30 days. So if you have any more information, you can't do that. So the pros, it is very small, lightweight, and it doesn't require an extra battery. It just plugs straight in. For the cons, I wish that it exported more than just 30 days. And that's basically it. It comes in at $120. And they do offer an Android version now, which is wireless, for an extra $10. And there's also different colors. If you don't like the blue, you can get like a hot pink or a black version as well.
Okay, now the original review was that it was a bit too buggy. It was a bit too undercooked. It had a couple of issues with both UI and with hardware. We've now given it a redemption.
We've given it a redemption.
And your verdict is?
I'm upgrading it to a try.
Okay.
Still not a crazy endorsing happy review, but it worked basically 95% of the time. I know that's a really kind of a crummy review, but it worked most of the time. It did what it claims, and I didn't have humongous issues like I did with the previous product. $120, I would say, is a lot of money.
It is.
So this is definitely if this is your perfect product, go for it. If it's not, I'd leave it on the table.
Yeah, well, and that's what the whole idea of the redemption is, which is, are they showing progress? And it sounds like
they are.
It's progress.
They definitely are.
Maybe we need to get them back on in a couple of months to do
Once
another
they come
redemption.
out with the Tinké 2, yeah, possibly.
There we go. That's Chad Johnson with the Zensorium Tinké. It got a product redemption, kind of. It's now been upgraded to a try instead of a don't buy.